The police seized a bag labeled "Definitely Not a Bag of Drugs." Qantas passengers were forced to watch an explicit film on an international flight, and Spirit Halloween is going to be opening Spirit Christmas stores. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the universe. I'm your host, Jonesy. You are my friend. The police seized a bag labeled "Definitely Not a Bag Full of Drugs," and turns out, crazy, it was a bag full of drugs. Now, there's a miracle in this story. The miracle is it's not a Florida man story. This is out of Portland, Oregon, although I covered a very similar story out of Florida a couple of months ago, I believe. Officers on Tuesday night stopped a man and a woman driving a stolen car in southeast Portland, and they found much more than just a stolen car. It says here, when the Portland police pulled over Mia Rochelle Begenstos, age 37, and Reginald Lamont Reynolds, age 35, they searched the car and discovered a little bit of cash, a loaded revolver, some scales, and a bag. This bag was labeled. It had the words, quote, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs," printed on it. Obviously, the police had probable cause to search the vehicle because it turns out it was stolen. And then, of course, they're going to search the bag that says "definitely not a bag full of drugs," and they found drugs inside. That's a huge rookie mistake. You don't write that on your bag of drugs. You write, "Here lies the most drugs in this bag." That way it throws them off, the other tactic is to label the bag as something no one would ever want to open. So, a bag of crapola would work. I carry my drugs around in a bag labeled "Bag of Jonesy's Kidney Stones." No one wants to open that. Who wants to see kidney stones? Those are not pleasant. Turns out they're my crack rocks. Hey, can you tell a crack rock from a kidney stone? I bet you can't. All right, now we get into the part of the story where we find out what kind of drugs were in the "not a bag full of drugs" bag that the police found. They dove right in and searched because the police are getting a lot smarter. I don't know if you know that. Plus, they had the warrant. On the warrant, it said "definitely a warrant." They had a warrant that said, "This is definitely a warrant." Okay, so they found in the bag fentanyl and methamphetamines. The amount was over 10 grams, it says. So it turns out these are the biggest evildoers of all time. Not only are they drug users, but a bunch of liars. You know what I'm saying? Okay, anything else in the bag? I was looking for my favorite word, drug paraphernalia. I think we've all become accustomed to hearing that word on various drug-related stories on the Weird AF News podcast. Nope, turns out no drug paraphernalia. And now for the charges, if you're curious. Reynolds faces charges of delivery of methamphetamine, unlawful possession of methamphetamine, unauthorized use of a vehicle, and possession of a stolen vehicle. Do you need to put unauthorized use of a vehicle if you've already have the possession of a stolen vehicle? It's kind of inherent. If you're possessing a stolen vehicle, you're not authorized to be using the vehicle, but some of these charges just end up being redundant. Like a lot of stories involving stupid criminals, we're learning a lot here. This is what you don't do with your drugs, with your bag of drugs. You don't put on it, "This is definitely not a bag of drugs." Just like, if you're a sex offender, you don't wear a T-shirt that says, "I'm definitely not a sex offender." Passengers were horrified after an airline played a very explicit movie on every single screen. Oh, is this Diddy Airlines? What is this? I don't normally fly Diddy Airlines, but this sounds like on brand for that. Travelers were floored, apparently, when an airline played a very sexually explicit movie on every passenger's screen during an international flight. Here's the kicker, though. There was no way to turn it off. Can't you just dim the screen? So obviously we're talking about technical difficulties here. I'm curious to find out what movie this might be. Was it Caligula, Human Centipede? You guys ever seen that movie called A Serbian Film? Ugh, I don't recommend that one. That is not for the faint of heart, that one. Very weird, though. Very weird movie. This incident took place on a Qantas flight. I've never flown Qantas. It was going from Sydney to Japan last week. Qantas is the flag carrier of Australia. Oh, that explains why I've never flown it. Never been to Australia. Okay, now they're disclosing the movie here. This is what the movie is. Are you guys on the edge of your seat right now? The movie's called Dildo, starring Dakota Johnson and Sean Penn. I'm kidding. It's Daddy-O. Dildo. Daddy-O. I've never seen Daddy-O. According to the IMDb page of Daddy-O, shows this film is rated R for language, sexual material, and brief graphic nudity. Do they play rated R movies on flights? This is an international flight, though. Anything goes on an international flight. They're like, hey, all the booze you want, rated R movies. Nonetheless, I'm sure there's some passengers on there that didn't want to see the Daddy-O movie. There was probably some nudity, some shocking, perhaps a nip slip or a butt crack. That'll just drive people insane. Not a nip. Oh, not the nip. Do you guys remember the big Janet Jackson nip slip from the Super Bowl? What a fiasco that was. If you cover the nip in blood and gore, though, then it's okay as far as U.S. film standards go. This movie features graphic nudity and a lot of sexting. Oh, that means naughty words. It says the kind where you could literally read the text on screen without needing any headphones, according to somebody on their social media. A passenger wrote, it took almost an hour of this before they switched to a more kid-friendly movie, but it was super uncomfortable for everyone, especially with families and kids on board. Qantas says that individual movie selection was not available due to a technical issue. Crew members switched finally to a family-friendly film once they realized that they could not solve this technical error, but by then it was just too late. Some people, well, I'm sure they saw an unpixelated willy. That's what I call an unpixelated willy bomb. You don't want that, all right? You're not expecting that on a flight. The Qantas spokesperson has the apology ready to go. The movie was clearly not suitable to play for the entire flight. We sincerely apologize. We sincerely apologize to customers in this experience. We're so sorry. We sincerely apologize for this experience. We're just going to say what everybody says in their apology. Empty apology, sincerely, but it's not really sincere. This is what we're supposed to do because stocks, man, we don't want our stock to go down, so we have to apologize. Qantas Airlines says they're reviewing exactly how the movie was selected to be available in the first place. Don't you have someone that watches the movies before you put them on the flight? I mean, I could do that job, by the way. Are you hiring a movie selector for planes? I'm in, man. That sounds like an amazing job. Although some passengers might be very surprised with the choices available. Every David Lynch movie's on here. That's weird. I mean, seriously, I'd want to watch all David Lynch. Every Stanley Kubrick movie, definitely available. Just for shits and giggles, I would put Snakes on a Plane. Yeah, why not? Just one of them, not all of them, I don't know if I've ever seen a plane disaster movie available on the plane in-flight movie selection screen. Have you ever seen that before? Has anyone ever seen a plane disaster movie available? Curious. And I got a question for you guys. This is kind of like a moral thing. What's the protocol for watching a slightly risky movie on a flight when there's a child next to you? What do you guys do? Do you shut off the movie? Do you ask the parents permission? Do you just put a blindfold on the child? How do you handle it? What's the protocol? Technically, you're allowed to watch that movie if it's available. But then when you got a kid next to you, what do you do? What do you do, guys? Spirit Halloween is opening Spirit Christmas stores. They're going to debut 10 locations in the United States, apparently. Kids haven't even begun to wear their costumes for a night of trick-or-treating, and already Spirit Halloween stores are preparing for future holidays like Christmas. The temporary retail chain reliably pops up every year in hundreds of vacant storefronts across the country to sell spooky Halloween costumes, spooky home Halloween decor, and towering outdoor scary animatronic decorations for your home this Halloween season and every Halloween season. This year, Spirit Halloween, which is owned by Spencer Gifts, which opened its first pop-up store in the Bay Area in 1983, will be sticking around a little bit longer. The company has revealed plans to open 10 Spirit Christmas stores across the Northeast United States. Now, for those of you who don't reside in the U.S., we have a store called Spirit Halloween. It was recently featured on an SNL sketch. Very funny. I do a joke about it because the Spirit Halloween stores, they just pop up right around Halloween, and it's so funny because it's usually in an abandoned building in your area. So it's like a crack house for 11 months out of the year, and then in October they're like, now we're the Halloween store. Like, oh, okay. Isn't this a drug house most of the year? All right, all right. I guess we're selling some scary costumes in here. Where's all the crackheads? Oh, you gave them jobs here. Yeah, you didn't have to add any makeup. So yeah, that's the situation here around Halloween. These stores pop up. And while we're on the topic of the Spirit Halloween pop-up stores, I just want to say those stores have the most lame costumes for women. Have you seen the lady costumes in these stores? They're basically jobs if you perform that job in your underwear. You know, because they're just half naked. Like, what are you supposed to be? Oh, I'm a park ranger if all my clothes shrank in the dryer. I'm a park ranger if I was employed at a park owned by Diddy. Yeah, he makes us wear nothing on the job, obviously. All right, let's go back in and find the details of this Spirit Christmas store that's going to be opening. You should probably change the name to Christmas Spirit instead of Spirit Christmas. Seems to go better. Right? Christmas Spirit, not Spirit Christmas. That seems backwards. It says here they're going to have stocking stuffers, holiday apparel, fun gifts, unique decor, plus all the special trimmings for creating an unforgettable Christmas. That's according to the Spirit Christmas official webpage. Spirit Christmas will soon be taking over strip malls in Jersey, Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania. Some of them are already Spirit Halloween locations, which makes sense. If you're already there, you just swap out the paraphernalia. In addition to having a lot of Christmas items for sale at Spirit Christmas, they're also advertising free family photographs with Santa Claus himself. Oh, that's pretty fascinating. You can show up there and meet old Santa. I wonder if they're going to have a mistletoe section where all the swingers can go hang out with their upside-down pineapples to let everybody know, hey, man, meet me in the mistletoe section and let's make out. I don't even know if they sell mistletoe anymore. When's the last time you seen mistletoe? That was creepy. My guess is the mistletoe was invented by a very creepy, horny old dude that he couldn't get any action otherwise, so he just made it up. He put a little organic matter on a doorway and then tricked these women into kissing him. He's like, no, that's what it is. It's a mistletoe. You guys know about the mistletoe? Yeah, I get to grope you for 5 minutes under the door jamb. That was my impression of the creepy guy that invented the mistletoe. I'm sure there's a legitimate reason that the mistletoe still exists once in a while. But, I mean, if you're into non-consensual kissing, then yeah, okay, put that in your house. But, you know, if I see that in your home, I'm going to be sus. All right, now I've bounced over to the Spirit Christmas website. It's kind of lame here. There's not much to go on. It does say all the store locations. In my home city of Massachusetts. There's going to be one in Dartmouth, guys. Do you guys know where the Fonts Corner Shopping Center is? It's on Fonts Corner Mall Road, North Dartmouth, Massachusetts. You guys know about North Dartmouth? Anyways, you're going to get yourself a Spirit Christmas. Take your photo with Santa. You can book it right off the website. Book your digital. It's a free digital postcard you get for posing with Santa. Skip the line and book your spot at the SpiritHalloween.com/Spirit Christmas. All right. I mean, this is smart business, by the way. They should just do all the holidays. Why stop at Christmas and Halloween? Do Easter Spirit, right? You could do, or Spirit Easter, rather. Spirit Valentine's could be, just pack the place full of candy and chocolate and flowers. You could do a whole flower delivery service. You could have couples come in and take photos. You could do a photo service. You got to do Spirit St. Patty's Day, too, so that, it would probably be just a pop-up beer garden, just copious amounts of stout and IPAs flowing for Spirit St. Patty. And then, you provide a bouncer and then probably a miniature jail for anybody who gets out of line, I'd say. Now, in case you guys are wondering when the Spirit Christmas locations will open their doors, It's beginning October 18th. It's not even so before Halloween's even over. Spirit Christmas is going to be open. Wow, they can't help themselves. They have to start these holiday sales so early. My goodness, the consumerism is just like it's like a shot in your veins, man. I need it. I need it. I need it. Oh, I need to shop for the next holiday. Oh, I gotta get my holiday shopping fix. Oh, when's the store gonna open, man? When you guys, hey, when you guys gonna have them Easter eggs, man? Come on, man. I need my Easter eggs. I know it's February, but I can't get enough of them Easter eggs, man. When you gonna be selling the Easter eggs, man? Come on, come on, come on. Hello, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. Thank you for spending some time with me. I appreciate it very, very much. I'm going to publish a couple of phone calls after this, just giving you a heads up on that. And if you'd ever like to call the show and leave me a voicemail, the number is 646-450-2012. You can email me as well, funnyjones@gmail.com. And you can enter my DMs on Instagram at Funny Jones. Enter the DMs. Yes, of course, if you come across any weird news out of the state of Florida from this week, please don't hesitate to send those to me so I can do a Florida Friday episode tomorrow. Please be sensitive. There's some suffering going down in Florida. Okay, we don't want to make fun of the people that are getting subjected to yet another hurricane, but there's other parts of Florida that are still living a normal life. And when I say normal, I mean, doing Florida man things. So we know how abnormal that is, actually. So anyways, yeah, send me the stories if you come across any that you believe would be suitable for tomorrow's episode. Appreciate that. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so by going to weirdafnews.com, and you can buy Jonesy a coffee, or you can join the Patreon on that page as well, which is like buying Jonesy a coffee every month. Isn't that lovely? So generous of you to buy me coffee, keep me caffeinated every month. Also, I find coffee helps with my hangovers, so that's really good. And it pairs very well with certain herbals. Okay, I'll keep this brief, but I'll put the calls on right now, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Florida Friday episode. Okay, take care of yourself. Bye.
Hello, Jonesy. Hello to all the weirdos at Weird AF News. Hello to Jim. Hello to Skeeter. I don't know if those are completely different people. Hello to Connie from Cedartown, Georgia. I don't know if that was a good southern accent. And hello to Lily and Michael from Iowa. We can't forget about him. We can't forget about Angry Florida Man and all the other weirdos. But I just listened to your Florida Friday story, and you said they're grabbing the genitals of you made like a song out of it. You tried to make like a, like a jazz song out of it. Oh my god. Or like a lounge song. And I just thought it was really funny. Because it was so bad. Oh my gosh. So the way I say podcast is the Chicago way of saying it. I could say podcast, just like everybody else, but that is just too difficult. Good luck with your life, man.
Jonesy, it's your favorite gal from your favorite flyover state, and if I don't call you right now before work, I am going to forget. So I'm listening to your Wednesday episode. I listened to them the day after with the rest of the Weird AF World News, because my God, isn't it all weird? A plinth is like a column, kind of, sort of. So if you go into an art gallery, you will see very tall, they're usually white. Here's my GPS, dear God. And you will see these tall, sort of like rectangular things where they put the art. So that's what a plinth is. It's just a really fancy, artsy-fartsy way of being like, we've got a column. Look at this thing. That's really all it is. And Missouri is not actually like a rectangle. I mean, I guess it is if you like stand it up vertically. But Missouri is actually a cesspool. It's the cesspool of the Midwest. I live right by Missouri. If location in the middle of the map, that's why they call us flyover states, unfortunately, because Missouri is a cesspool, unfortunately, except for Kansas City. But the laws in the state, I should say, are a cesspool, not the whole state. Just a lot of the laws are a cesspool. And may not get that way, because women are treated like cattle in Missouri. Really, in the whole Midwest and the South, we are cattle. We have no rights. Anyway, that aside, you discussed about a week ago, oh boy, people in the UK are running out of places to bury the bodies. We just need to cremate everybody. I know in France, they buried everyone and then they dug them back up and stuck them in the catacombs, if you've ever been. It's creepy as hell. You were wandering around underneath the streets of Paris, and there's just bones in grotesque displays everywhere. It even says over the entrance, beware, you are entering the realm of the dead. I can't remember exactly how it's phrased in French, even though I do speak French. But it's the morning. I have not had my caffeine, forgive me. But yeah, and they just display the bones, these really neat little sort of art ways. I don't know. It's very odd. It's super creepy down there. But we just need to cremate everybody. You can get cremated and turn into a tree. You can get turned into mushrooms. You did a story about people being put in the ocean, which I think we need to stop polluting the ocean for the love of God, because we are also killing it like everything else. Yeah, so people all need to be cremated. I don't know what weirdos read. I think we should have a weirdo book club, since you've got a weirdo fantasy football. But I think we should have a weirdo book club. But if any other weirdos out there are like me and are big bibliophiles, there is a book called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. And it is by the woman who runs the YouTube channel Ask a Mortician. And she is talking about the Western preoccupation with life, with making things lifelike. We are terrified of death. We are terrified of the idea of death. And